Greetings, community. It's Kevin of NCBD Comics, and I'm here to bring you another edition of Kevin's most anticipated reads for New Comic Book Day, 9/28/22. Now, fortunately, this Wednesday, there is a rather small list. That doesn't mean that I ain't going to be rather busy. Behind me, I have roughly 120 books. And if I recall, there's around 70 some odd titles that I need to start reading really soon. So, let's get into what's happening tomorrow on what I most anticipated read. Will want to read. Yeah. Seriously, here we go. Starting off with Nice House on the left. Just kidding. Nice House. This is a story that I've really been enjoying. Now, unfortunately, we've had a little bit of a lull. It's taken a little time for this issue to come out, issue number 10. That does not put a damper on how I really anticipated this read. I actually re-fingered through the other issues to kind of get a brush on exactly what was to be expected in this coming issue in the sense of what I'm trying to guess might happen. Also to polish up on the story itself because I knew that it's been a little while since I last read it. Yeah, this story is really ramping up, in my opinion. I really like how there's been a heavy breakdown and really getting involved in each character. This allows me to go ahead and personally get involved in the story by knowing the character and by actually somewhat getting a little depth of there, which it has been rather minimal. It's been intriguing to see how they've been working together, and I've been kind of blowing it up on a huge scale. So for me, this has been kind of a neat little experiment by not having an experiment, reading kind of what would turn out to be on this Nice House on the Lake thing. So it's been interesting, to say seriously, the least, even though I've been going on forever. Moving on from Nice House on the Lake, issue number 10, cruising on over to Ant-Man, issue number 3. I've been liking how they've been going through this whole Ant-Man series in the sense of going through the different Ant-Man at the different eras and different times and how they affect a future Ant-Man. That's what I'm speculating on in the sense of what is supposed to be transpiring and how it's going to affect the future of the Ant-Man character. It's cool. I'm digging it. To me, it's almost like a life story without doing a life story, but doing a life story, I like it. So moving on from Ant-Man number 3, we cruise on over to the Department of Truth. Boy, I'm all tongue and no lips. What I'm really enjoying about the story is it's really consistent. It gives us an overall feel and story of basically two individuals, predominantly speaking, kind of giving us a breakdown of what's happening in the world as you pull back the veil and their experiences as they've done so in their life and how it's affecting the present reality that we live in and how that easily can be affected, especially at this juncture, at a precipice in time. So this issue is rather significant because of this amount of information that's now transpiring and the amount of information we've been able to get in this issue because we're now 2 years deep into the story. So Department of Truth continues to be a slam hit for me. Yeah, something like that. All right, cruising over from Department of Truth, we're going to go over to Grimm, issue number 5. Now, I've been loving Grimm. I got to read a little tidbit and get a feel what this story was about even before it was said it released. I was really satisfied on where the direction was going, even though it felt like a familiar story of other stuff that I've read before. It was uniquely different, even though it felt like something that was familiar. What I'm really enjoying about it is even though we're only 5 issues deep, there's been a good deal of information that's been given to us in the story, and it's been intriguing enough and fulfilling enough in the story and to the depth of what's been given to us to go ahead and want to continue more. And what I mean by that is usually, I think of it as food, would be a little full by this point. This story just keeps me hungry. It really does. I really enjoy Grimm. I like the pace. I really like what's going on. I feel that there's a lot more coming. And as they're slowly adding more character, adding more depth to these characters, they're having a lot of gravitas. And I'm really liking it because every time I'm reading a new panel, I feel like something heavy is about to drop and I just don't know what. So it's why it's on one of my most anticipated reads for tomorrow. However, heading over to the blue light special for tonight, and that is Briar, issue number 1. Now, the Briar story is a story of Sleeping Beauty, loosely. It is a, I guess, chaotic tale of the Sleeping Beauty story. It's kind of what would happen if Sleeping Beauty essentially wasn't woken up and where Kingdom was still taken over by the prince. Without necessarily having to wake her up, he just assumes power, per se. That's a real loose version of what it is. However, it is very, hey, I'm going to use it again, grim. In the telling, it's very dingy, it's very dirty. I really like how it's drawn, though. It's using colors, it's using lines that I really enjoy. It not only allows me to go ahead and take a little bit more time in my reading because I'm enjoying each panel, but it allows me to go back over the story a lot of times after once I read it and just enjoy the panel for the artwork alone. And that's why Briar, issue number 1, is on my most anticipated read, Blue Light Special, for tomorrow, 9/28/22. And that's it for me, Entropy. Appreciate everyone being here, and you take care. Stay well.